Welcome to season 4 of Outstanding Women Leaders, Witty and Wise Conversations. I'm your host, Katie Eades, founder and chief owl at Outstanding Women Leaders, Owl Professional Coaching, an organization dedicated to empowering women to rewrite their story and reconnect to fulfillment and joy. Owl is on a mission to host 100 million witty and wise conversations that disrupt the way leaders think and inspire you to disrupt business as usual in your brain. That disruption begins with a set of rules to guide our conversation today. Number 1, nobody gets to be wrong. Number 2, nobody gets to be right. Number 3, everybody gets to be vulnerable. Rule number 4, everything is included. We do not edit here. This conversation is exactly what it needs to be in this moment in time. We've asked our guest to join us via video so that she could shower and also so we could create authentic connection. Eyes are the window to the soul. You will be seen here. You will be heard. There is space for you. When this conversation comes to a close, I will ask our guests 3 questions. If you've tuned in before, you know what they are. If you haven't, you don't want to miss them. But enough about me. Today, I'm excited to welcome Outstanding Woman Leader and my favorite person to try out my comedy on, MaryAnn Carrino, a dear friend and Jersey girl, survivor, thriver, and outstanding business owner of the premier wellness and aesthetics practice in West New York, which is located in New Jersey. Lumtri Wellness and Aesthetics. It's right between Hoboken and Weehawken on the water. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful facility. And MaryAnn has an amazing story to share with us in a finite amount of time because she also works a second job in addition to being this founder for the #1 issue of MasterCard Corpay. But at the young age of 21, MaryAnn was in a horrific car accident that left her with major facial injuries, requiring 2 revision surgeries for 10 laser surgeries, therapy to overcome the car accident and everything that she went through with having her face ripped off. I like to picture this as like Batman with the Joker and like half your face, that part where that guy's like half of his face is gone. And when I met Mare, she was almost 87 and looked no younger, not a day over 40. Marianne had quite a journey. It led her into this selling medical devices, and all of that led her to where she is today, which is helping other women feel beautiful within their own skin. Mare, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Wow, thank you. That was quite an introduction.
We don't mess around here at Owl. I know you think I've got this little, mom and pop shop here with a stuffed animal, but I love that you are always here to laugh at any jokes I make. So thank you for that.
You always make me laugh, Katie. Always. Always.
So enough about the laughing. Let's talk about the sad stuff. So you're 21. I don't actually know the details of the car accident. Tell me what happens.
Yeah, so it seems like an eon ago or many decades ago.
You're 87.
I'm 87, aka 48, but feeling like 87 sometimes. So yeah, it happened when I was 21. Simply was, that girl, dieting and getting ready to go to a wedding, was driving, probably didn't eat lunch, passed out behind the wheel, rolled into traffic, got hit by several vehicles, and ended up in the ER and then in surgery. So woke up the next day and didn't look like I normally was looking. So it was quite traumatic. My family was super supportive and ended up, taking quite some time to find a plastic surgeon who would be able to do the revision, and found a great surgeon nearby who did the initial revision, and then went to a surgeon in New York who ended up doing subsequent revisions and laser surgeries, which took many years. So that was 21. I went through the next 8 to 9 years, doing a surgery every year, and then the laser surgery like every 6 to 9 months, while letting my skin heal and get back to normal. But yeah, it's quite a journey. It definitely changed me, and was going to therapy at the time, physical therapy, as well as going to see a therapist because I did have PTSD from the accident.
Yeah, you're the second person I've talked to for the podcast this week about PTSD from a car accident.
Mhm.
Where would you say you're at from that today? I've only ever had you drive a car. I've never had you be a passenger. How are you with PTSD and driving, and what would you say helped you heal the most?
PTSD is interesting. It kind of I didn't know I had it until I was in my later 20s and I was in a car wash. And as soon as those little things that hit the windshield when you're in a car driving through a car wash, it's like I guess they're sponges or something. One car wash in particular where it hit the windshield so hard, and as soon as it hit the windshield, I started sweating and panicking, and I couldn't even drive the car. I couldn't drive out of the car wash. So I got to the end, and people were expecting me to drive on, and I couldn't even move. So someone had to come and help me and get me out of the car. And I was standing on the side of the road and then they called my mom and she came to pick me up because I was in such a panic. So mine manifested in like panic attacks. And so I couldn't, I could drive, but I couldn't do certain things. Definitely not a car wash. That was triggering for me. And then over the years, there were certain other things that I had from the car accident that triggered me based on like some of the surgeries that I had and the after effects. The way I felt about myself, the way people reacted towards me. I always walked around with like bandages on my face for several years after. I was in college at the time, and I had to, basically skip through a semester. So it took me longer to finish school, which kind of affected me a little bit too, where I felt that I was behind. I was behind everyone. So I always was trying to catch up, always kind of doing that catch up game with myself. So with the physical injuries, there was a lot of the emotional stuff that went on over the years.
Wow, I cannot even imagine. I've had my teeth out, like my wisdom teeth out. That's it. It's all I've ever had from a medical. I have no frame of reference for or what that must be like, or even, I mean, years. You're talking years and years of not looking in the mirror and seeing your own face that you recognize, not to mention the pain I imagine that comes along with the surgery.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I have quite a high pain tolerance, which the doctors would say over the years. And I don't know what that was. Maybe that was just me blocking some stuff out. But yeah, it was quite a journey through my 20s.
Yeah, I'm afraid of a needle and Botox in my forehead. You've been through all of it.
Oh my gosh, that's so easy. That's like nothing.
That's nothing for you. How
Yeah.
old were you when you got to the point where the surgeries were done? Like, this is the face. You're a beautiful girl,
Oh,
woman, whatever you like,
woman,
whatever.
87-year-old.
An 87-year-old
I
woman.
mean,
Yeah.
87-year-old. Yeah.
How old are you by the time all of this is done?
So I kind of I hit the stop button when I was 30, because I just was kind of over all of the surgeries. And I felt like that was based on what my doctors had said. And also my feeling of wanting to just make it like, just end it, all of these surgeries constantly, every year, every 6 months, 9 months. Um, I wanted to just, put a stop to it and said, you know what, I have to accept this is the way I look, and this is as best it's going to be. And I will just, move on with my life and, try to feel as best as I can about it. So it was right around when I was 30, I stopped doing all of those things. And yeah, I actually hadn't done anything through my 30s until I was about like 40. And then I started getting some, things done like, Juvederm to like fill up the area, which was depressed because I had lost a lot of tissue. Prior to that, I was getting bovine collagen like in my early 20s. So yeah, I kind of left it alone for a long time, and dealt with some of the internal like scars that had, been left over, and the PTSD from all of the event.
Yeah. And so fast forward, here you are, you're the founder of Lumtri Wellness and Aesthetics,
Yeah.
and you get to help make women feel beautiful. Tell us all about, what made this your dream? Why did you open this? And how are you helping other women?
So, I mean, I've always been interested in obviously skincare and, this accident happening when I was, it just turned 21. So I was quite young and never thought about aging or that my skin would ever be like, damaged to the extent it was, and tissue damage and so on and so forth. I had to learn a lot about different modalities, treatments, surgeries early on when it came to plastic surgery or dermatology. So a lot of it was like, my own experience going through this. And then over the years, just researching, always looking out for what new technology was out there that could possibly help. And being, in medical device, which was a different specialty, but understanding like how the body can heal itself. And I always knew that taking care of myself internally would always make me look better on the outside. So if I had a really stressful day or I wasn't eating well, I didn't get enough sleep, my scar, the side of my face that I had all the procedures and stuff on in the accident would look worse. It would look, darker and more weathered, and when I wasn't taking care of myself. When I created Lumturi Wellness and Aesthetics, I wanted to create a business that brought the best of aesthetics, the technology, as well as, the providers and wellness together. Because, I realized as I was going through this process, like you had to really take care of yourself internally as well as externally to have the best result or to feel and look your best.
All right. So now you're talking my language, because I mentioned the needles and the fear, but as a former gym owner, what can I do to take care of my skin internally?
Internally. So one of the most important things you can do is hydration. So drinking the proper amount of water, getting the proper amount of sleep for your body. Everyone's individual, but that 7 to 8 hours, some people need 9, is a sweet spot. So that's really important. As well as like, I find that meditation and exercise is really, really healthy for your skin. Your skin's your largest organ. So you really want to make sure that you're making it work for you every day. And exercise is key for that. As well as SPF. I learned early on to wear SPF and to protect my skin every day, no matter where you go. If you're going, just for a walk to get coffee, or if you're going down to your office, always wear SPF all over your body. And so that's important. So I would say those are the real key things. And then obviously having a really healthy diet and not smoking, limiting your drinking, although we love wine.
I'm out.
Limiting your drinking or consumption of alcohol. So that's important. But
yeah, I noticed if I have a lot of sugar in my diet, that I can see my wrinkles much more deeply than if I cut it out. Like if I cut out sugar for a good amount of time, people will actually say like, "Oh, your skin looks really great." Like,
yeah,
lines are hiding.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what kind of services that you offer at your wellness and aesthetics.
So we offer everything from, neurotoxins to fillers, as well as skin tightening procedures. We have the great Morpheus 8, which is like super popular now. It's such a great treatment. I've done 2 so far. I'm going to be working on my 3rd one. So many patients I see with incredible results from the Morpheus 8. We also do something called exosomes or mesotherapy on top of that, as well as PRP, really just to feed that skin while it's vulnerable. And then we also do facials, dermaplaning, microneedling. We do chemical peels, as well as IV vitamin therapy, intramuscular vitamin therapy, hormone replacement therapy. We do blood draws. So we do a lot of different things. I'm actually thinking of incorporating acupuncture too on the wellness side. So, and we do massage therapy as well and lymphatic drainage. So a lot of different things kind of combined together to really just make you feel and look your best.
I completely see the wellness side now as you talk about all the different services. So I wasn't intending to do this, but I'm going to go right ahead. What I love about MaryAnn is, let's say you walk into Lumtri and you're like, I don't know all of the things I should know about my skin. Like, you are a walking knowledge person. You've lived it, you've experienced it. You're so great at consulting and being able to help a person. And I know you have a great staff that also is trained medically to do that.
Yes. Yes. I'm just sort of like the gel that comes
You
in
are the
between.
gel. So be my gel, be my bridge. If I were to invest as I'm going to be on the wrong side of 40 next year. That's what they say, right? Women on the wrong side of 40. I will be 40
right
next year.
Life, actually.
I agree. I agree.
The right side of life.
But as a woman that's going to be turning 40, like, what are the treatments that people should be buying me for Christmas at your Lumtri Wellness and Aesthetics? What are your top 3 things?
So our top 3 things are, honestly, it's facials. It truly, having great skincare is really important, and really, a facial once a month is something that you should be starting at this age. SPF, I don't care what kind of SPF it is. I do like some of the higher end SPFs, but it can be any SPF as long as it's 30 or above. So that's extremely important. I would say neurotoxins, Botox, it's still one of our top treatments. It's what people will maybe forego possibly a facial. They will never forgo their Botox. It is really that, it's the gateway really into all of these aesthetic treatments, I think, is Botox. And so I would say facials, SPF, Botox, and then once you start working in your 40s, you start to need some of the sort of higher level treatments, microneedling, Morpheus 8, which is a microneedling and radio frequency. So I would ask for a gift certificate for a facial and maybe some neurotoxin for this Christmas.
Thank you so much for that tip, as I continue to see the lines on my forehead grow. Before we wrap up here, because I know you're a very busy woman with lots and lots of demands, I have 3 questions I ask all my guests.
Yes.
What is your superpower?
My superpower, being able to do many things at once. I don't know if that's good, but I can do multiple things at once because I really always kind of have to. So.
That's right. You can go to college and reconstruct your entire face. I mean, how many more things do people need to do? What is your purpose?
I believe that my purpose is to help people feel their best self. I for many years, going through my 20s and even my 30s, even till today, there's days I just don't always feel like my best self. If I'm not really taking good care of myself and I'm really prioritizing self-care. And self-care, sometimes people have looked at it in the past, or maybe they think it's like selfishness. And self-care isn't. Self-care is so important, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of anything else really in your life. So I believe that my purpose is to help people feel and be their best self. And whether that's giving them a facial to help them look and feel a little more refreshed in their day, or if that's Botox to, get rid of some lines and wrinkles that have been bothering them for months or years, all the way to, the wellness side of getting them, IV vitamin therapy, or finding out if they're lacking in certain vitamins or hormones that need to be replaced. We have great clinicians on staff that really can help people figure out and get to the bottom of why they're not feeling or looking their best.
incredible. Your purpose, from a human design, MaryAnn, I like to pretend that I'm a medium and read people's designs. Um, you are so living in line with your purpose. Your purpose is to find your own definition of self-love and then share it with the world. And you are doing that so beautifully. And it's been a pleasure as a friend to watch your dream of owning this place come true. So thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
all of this. I know you have so
Thank
much
you.
on your plate. And my last question,
Yeah.
what's next?
Oh gosh. Well, I am looking forward to the next location. Hopefully, I'm hoping in the next year or two. We're pretty much like building up this one now and really happy with where we are, but want to get to that next location so we can spread like Lumturi Wellness, across like the tri-state area and hopefully to other parts of the US. And so, yeah, so that's the next step.
Amazing. Well, Knoxville is going to need some of that love as I get, closer to 87. So, think
Oh my
big for me.
gosh. I will. I will. We're
I
gonna get
always
down
give,
down there too.
that's right. You can come and have a solo executive women's retreat with me,
That would be lovely. Yes.
coming in 2023. As we
Mhm.
wrap up here, I always give my guests the last word. So, last word of advice that you want to give for everyone listening today.
Believe in yourself. And that's it. Just believe in yourself.